What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to talk about lower back pain. So lower back pain is very common regardless of if you're an athlete or not. Okay, so we're going to go over 4 different stretches or movements, if you will, that will hopefully give you a little bit of relief from your lower back pain. Okay, so this first one is super simple. It's just to hang. Okay, so we're going to have our feet underneath our hips. Now, most important part of this is that we have to unlock our knees. If you keep your legs straight, and you go into an upper body hang here, that's going to be all in the hamstring. You're not going to feel anything in your lower back, okay? Or you probably won't feel much. Now, when we go unlock your knees, I'm going to reach my hips back, okay? And I want a pretty good bend here at the knee, okay? I like to grab my own elbows, and what I'm thinking about here is keeping my upper body as relaxed and as heavy as possible, okay? So I want to fully relax my upper body. I like, for me, if I sway back and forth, reach one hip back, reach the other one, maybe straighten one leg, straighten the other, okay? Again, relax the upper body. Something else that might help here is when you're going, you want to think about taking big breaths into our torso, okay, in a way that expands our stomach, the sides of our torso, and the back of our torso, okay? That will hopefully kind of relieve a little bit of stress in the lower back, okay? So big breaths in, expand the stomach, okay? Sway side to side, breathe it all out, and that might give you a little bit of relief in the lower back. Okay, this next movement is just a full depth squat, but we're going to be using our hands on something that's going to anchor us into place, okay? So I'm using this bar. You can really use anything. You can use a rack, you can use a tree, a pillar, anything that's going to help you or allow you to anchor your hands in, that's going to help you relax a little bit more down at the bottom of the squat, okay? So set my feet in a normal squat stance, okay? Shoulder width, toes slightly pointed out. I grab onto whatever I'm hanging on to. Now, I sit as low as I can, okay? And I want to think about, again, relaxing all of this, the whole lower back, okay? The whole torso. And from here, a couple things that feel good for me. Sometimes I like to drive one knee forward and drive the other forward, okay? A little bit of movement in these positions can go a long way. So play around with that, see what helps, okay? Or see what feels best for you down here at the bottom. Another thing that's really going to help and make a big difference is breathing down here. We mentioned it on the first one, the hang, but same thing here, okay? So in terms of our breathing, we want to breathe in a way, I don't want to breathe into my chest, okay? So if you've heard of diaphragmatic breathing, it's the same concept. I want to breathe in a way that expands my torso, okay, and also expands my lower back and will really loosen up, okay, kind of what I'm working on here, okay? So as I'm here, I breathe into my stomach, I take a big breath, and then I breathe all the way out. And hopefully when I breathe, that's going to relieve a little bit of stress on the lower back. All right, so this next one, we're going to be here on the floor. Okay, so I'm laying all the way back, and all I'm doing here is just hugging my knees to my chest, okay, and I'm rolling back and forth. So really what we're trying to do here is just round the lower back a little bit to relieve a little bit of stress, okay? So I grab my hands together, I pull my knees to my chest to start the rock, okay, and I just kind of roll back and forth. I can also add a little bit of an angle, so roll to one side, roll to the other, maybe do about 15, 20 rolls there and see how the lower back feels. Okay, now this next one actually targets our hip flexors a little bit, but your hip flexor connects on the inside of the thigh here and actually also connects to your lower back. So if you have really tight hip flexors, it could be pulling on the lower back and causing some of your back pain, okay? So this is a couch stretch. I'm using a bench. You can use a chair, a couch, anything at home that's going to allow you to prop a foot up, okay? But I'm going to put one foot up on the bench here. I'm dropping that same side knee down towards the floor, okay? And I want to stay tall here. So I want my shoulder to be above the knee. So straight line from shoulder to the knee. Now from here, it's common to see a lot of people will arch here into the lower back, or sorry, into the hip. But especially if we're trying to target our lower back, that's not going to do much for our lower back, okay? It's just going to, again, it's going to put a little bit more stress on the lower back. So as I'm going, okay, I want to think about having a neutral pelvis. So I'm going to curl my hips underneath me, and I have to squeeze this glute, okay? That's the whole key here. If you don't squeeze this butt cheek, you're not going to feel really any stretch in the quad or the hip flexor. So tall chest here, hips are underneath me. I'm squeezing this glute, okay, and I'm going to hold this for about 15, 20 seconds. I'm going to do both sides, maybe do 2 to 3 sets and see if that does anything for the lower back. Okay, thank you for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, throw me a subscribe. If there's any other mobility drills that you want to see for specific parts of the body, leave them down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.